Hello, doston. I hope you're doing good. Uh, just for the future context, so that we know when this video was shot, it's 26th of June 2022, and the rigorous process of Seed is over for me. I had applied for two different disciplines: animation design and communication design at IDC IIT Bombay, and I got uh, offer letters for both, and I kind of got enrolled into animation design. But yet, still, like second and third lists are still awaited. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Suraj Singh, and I consider myself a visual artist. I am a visual artist. I basically make images, create pictures, I draw, I paint, illustrate, and that's all I do. As far as my academics are concerned, I have graduated in the year 2020 with a degree called Fine Arts. So, I belong from a design background, and the degree that I have is Bachelor's in Fine Arts. So guys, this year I opted for Seed, and this was my very first attempt, and I was fortunate enough to score an AIR 1, which was like not expected from my side, but it made me very happy. Okay, and I made it to the dream college, which I always wanted to go in, not because of the college, but because of the faculties, the alumni over there, and the professors who were my heroes when I was dreaming of becoming an animator someday. And it's still a dream, like it's still a dream. I haven't been successful into it, but this is a small baby step towards it. When I was preparing for this exam, it was very organic. It was a very personal approach, but also I took a lot of help from the internet, of course, Google, YouTube, and everywhere. I'm making this video because I believe a lot of discussion has already taken place regarding so many important topics that you guys are asking for. For example, portfolio. For example, part B answer keys, the kind of answers you should always look forward when you are writing the seed exam, especially for part B. But instead of discussing all the things, I think we should also go for demonstrations that I thought were missing on the internet. There were no information regarding how the answers actually look in real. Okay, and how the portfolio that is accepted in IDC and any design college for the matter of fact look in real. And I think that is the only thing that is missing regarding Seed, and otherwise everything is already covered. You know, and for all the people who are really asking the most basic questions regarding Seed, kindly guys, go on the Seed official website, and there is a brochure. They have their own website, and most of the information is already there. So you know what? Go ahead and just read all the things, the eligibility criteria. These are very basic questions that have already answered by IIT Bombay itself. So in this series, this is the first video regarding the portfolio. So without any further ado, let's start reviewing my portfolio that I submitted to IDC IIT Bombay for animation design as well as communication design. Because I'm very lazy, I made just one portfolio and sent for both the streams, and they loved it. I'm not making it. The professors actually told this. So here is the portfolio. Uh, this is the first slide. Well, this was not made in my original portfolio that I sent. This is just for YouTube. So yeah. So this is a painting that I did. It's a self portrait. It is not at all done from by referring a photograph. It is done by looking in a mirror. So yeah, I go with the pen name kairneya, which is not an animal, because a lot of people who listen to this word, maybe funnily, like in a more funny way, they say that, okay, which kind of animal is it? But it is not. Okay, so this is the first slide. Anyway, so this is the very first project. It's a story regarding Munna. Now, Munna is a very sweet, little, adorable girl, just like any other child. She also has a parent, like a guardian of her father, and let's see how it goes on. So this is how I presented. Not a very good presentation. I just took a template from Microsoft PowerPoint and I just displayed my artworks the way it is pretty to the eye. So the only thing that I've written on this whole slide is just read left to right, which is an instruction. So let's see. So yeah, it's Munna's birthday and she's planning to go out shopping with her father, and he's just being ready. And now Munna, she goes impatient and she starts calling her dad. And in a very hurry situation, his dad gets ready and he finds out that the shirt that he's wearing has a patch. Okay, it's torn apart. Okay, but since Munna is calling, so he will ignore his torn shirt. He'll ignore his torn shirt and just go out with his daughter for shopping. And they go to the city mall and they purchase, some clothes for Munna. And while going on the billing counter, Munna notices that there is a patch under the armpit, okay, of the shirt that her father is wearing. So very like without telling anyone, Munna just takes off one of her cloth, one of her, maybe a skirt or any outfit that was purchased for Munna. She takes it and she disappears. So naturally, when her father notices that Munna is not there, he panics. He starts searching for her, and Munna later, after a long time, she appears in front of her father, and he is very emotional. He tries to grab her, runs towards her, but the moment her father like reaches her, she shows a brand new shirt that she exchanged. She exchanged. By giving the outfit that was purchased for her, and she got a shirt for her dad. Sweet story. End. That's it. Next project is, okay. This is not a project. These are all drawings from my sketchbook. Uh, so this is basically a drawing my trip to Khajuraho. So it's a very small sculpture that I found very interesting because the artist who made this sculpture could have chosen any very normal looking gesture of the elephant, like four-wheel gesture of an elephant. But that person, whosoever made this sculpture, actually chose a galloping elephant for me, which was very interesting. So I like in that situation, in that moment, I found it interesting and sketched it. So these are all the sketches that I have done are from life. These are real people. Anyway, so this is not at all erotic art. No. This is anatomy practice, which is important, equally important for anyone who wishes to draw well. So these are all gestures and anatomy drawings. Next. So these are all real people, and if they are not real people, they are just cartoonized, but the inspiration is all from reality. Guys, if you are drawing and you want to improve, do not try to copy it from a photograph. Do not do that. It is not going to take you anywhere. So try to draw from life as much as possible. In fact, make it a rule that you draw from life every day. Use photograph only when you are working on commission artwork. So this is anatomy practice, a person from life, a portrait of a person from life, and again anatomy practice. Okay, real people. That one is my grandfather. Okay, I tried to copy Frank Frazetta, some gesture drawings from few people around me. These are all real people. I'm not talking about that naked woman. So these are all real people. You can see the people holding the sketches in hand. I was also a cartoonist in an art fair back in my college days. I love to do this, but after COVID, everything was like shut down. But I enjoyed doing them. Yeah, like look at them. I'm proud of these things. So this was a model. This was the output. This was the very first time I started. Like I was just starting oil paints. So this is the basically technically my first oil painting. It didn't came out so well. I'm not proud of it, but it is like a good attempt, I would say. Again, cartoons. portraits of people whom I love, admire. That's my grandfather. Just look at his smile, guys. You know what? This is what makes me keep going. This is what drives me. Now all these things are done from real life people. Apart from that Atal Bihari Vajpayee cartoon. Next, these are very big paintings that I made out of my own curiosity and fun. Okay, and later I used it in a campaign for a brand called Big Cola. This campaign is not commercial. It is a very naive and basic approach when I was learning branding. So that's when I use these artworks, and I try this is a very patchy work. It's a very alsi kind of work where I used my previous artworks to complete my assignment. But it it was a fluke, and it turned out to be good because it was going with the tagline of the campaign. But again, there is no thought process. There is no like idea uh, which is like innovative or creative. Anyway, this is just used for a campaign. Next. So this is again a campaign. You see, I am also including my communication design work in such a way that is innovative. So the campaign is basically uh, done for an hydroponic farm. Hydroponics means growing plants into water where we don't use fertilizers and pesticides because there is no concept of soil in the process. So it is pesticide and fertilizer free crop. That is the USP. I messed up with the USP. I used the USP of eco-friendly crop. But on that USP, I went creative. I made models which were like showing how this crop is eco-friendly. So the models are made by real vegetables. I shot it with my cell phone. I edited it in Photoshop and then made this campaign out of it. This campaign is not a successful campaign because the USP is messed up, but I still like the idea. So a chili and carrot is making a go kart, which is like love is in the air, but the air is highly polluted. It is actually telling you about environmental stuff, eco-friendly stuff, the things that are going wrong with the ecosystem. But if you consume this hydroponic stuff, vegetables, yeah, maybe you are not the part of the elements that are harming the ecosystem. Anyways, it is nothing like that. Eat whatever you have. So again, it's like you can see the message that I want to put out through my visuals. That's all I need. Destroy the forest if you will, but you'll scorch for your own lungs. Okay, this is the Balaji project, Balaji campaign that I did it in my final year in the year 2020. I completed it in 2020, but it was done in 2019. Anyway, so this was done even before Balaji launched its original campaign, where they hired Ayushman Khurrana as their brand ambassador. The campaign was delivered, executed by publicist Beehive, an advertising company. Okay, so but before that, Balaji were using cartoons, and when I was doing my research regarding the brand, they were doing so. So I created two different cartoons which became their mascots in my campaign. And the USP in this campaign, which makes this campaign very successful, was on mark. The USP was that the Balaji wafers, it actually provides you much more quantity than their competitors, which is like 20% more, which is like 5 grams, but 5 grams is nothing, but it is, when you compare it with their competitors, it is 20% more. Anyway, uh, those are like really technical issues. But here, every frame will show you, like these are the frames, these are the indoor posters. Every frame is going to show you how heavy the Balaji wafer, the content inside the wafer is, and the story, the chemistry between both the characters, they are already always pushing the USP of the brand. Now this falls in communication design. This project falls in communication design, but it can also be considered in animation because the skill of illustration and storytelling is still there. Okay, so if you are opting for animation, these kinds of projects are going to be very handy, and these projects are also applicable for communication. So moving on to the next slide, these are the rough sketches that I pitched to my professors. uh, the stories that I wrote, small scenes that I wrote, and these are the illustrations coming out of those scenes, and these are done on paper with pencil and ink. And this is how they translate it. Like, I guess one of the image of that bike where the Motu is riding the bike, okay, you can exactly see how it is used uh, in the final output. But the obviously, it is a different bike, it is a different perspective, and that's how you work from your brainstormed versions. Okay, just to tell you, this campaign consisted of 12 frames. Okay, and all those 12 frames came out of more than fifty drawings. Now, this is a process where my digital output takes shape. This is where I show how I drew it digitally. Again, it is a very technical stuff. So let's move on. So these are the new frames where every frame is actually pushing the idea of how heavy the Balaji wafers are. This is the story that pushes the USP of the campaign ahead, and that makes the campaign successful. Anyway, this is one of the bizarre stories that I loved from the series because it is space, dude. And in space, there is no concept of weight. But still, Balaji is also heavy in the space. Again, okay. So it has weight even in outer space. That is how much content there it is, right? Defies physics, but okay. Anyways, next story, you can exactly see what is happening. I don't even have to say anything, just demonstrate it. Okay, you can exactly see what is happening in the frame, how the person who is pulling the string, he's not knowing where the string is attached. Again, oh, okay. So this is a new project. This is not a project. Actually, these are the sketches that I did out of my boredom when I was working in the animation studio. I used to complete my job early, and just because the kind of work that I was doing was very boring over there, I started making these sketches, these line drawings for my own fun. Okay, I gave myself situations. You can see a bull is killed by a hunter, and the whole scenario is peeped out by someone. Again, I don't know what was the story, but okay, a series of kids. I totally like this fat kid who is pointing out his misdeeds of spilling the milk on someone else. Sorry. Okay, again, a watercolor painting, how it translated into digital. Okay, a very unique kind of storytelling. Again, you can see these things are just one single frame, but still they're conveying something to the onlooker. Still, you can understand, you can talk to the images that okay, something is going on inside these visuals, these frames. Okay, the Pandavas, you can exactly look at these images and you can say who's who without even naming. Like, you can see who has the authority in this whole image, the bunch of characters. You can exactly see how Draupadi is sitting, and the whole authority, whole command is like lies within her. You can see by the size of the characters who Bhim is, who Nakul is, who Sahadev is. And now again, I assume that you guys are familiar with Mahabharata. Anyways, moving on. A bunch of sketches of Rakshas for some stories, I don't know. Okay. Now, who says it's junk food? It is junk food, but again, like, it is very creative because you won't get biceps and triceps after eating burgers. Don't eat burgers irrespectively if unless you are not working out. So this is not how you turn out after eating burgers. Okay, but again, in my head, things are going on like this. Again, it's a locality, uh, a balcony that I see from my window. I used to see from my window when I was living in my PG in my graduation days. I'm just kidding. This is a balcony that I drew from my imagination for a story. These are all real people in different worlds, in the worlds that I imagined them to be. Okay, uh, yeah, This girl, she was, I remember specifically, she was a big fan of Harry Potter, so I gave her a hat and a magic wand. The next frame is of my teacher. Okay. Okay, so this is a comic. This is a real incident that I exaggerated a little bit in the comic just to make it a little more spicy, more interesting. And let's see, this comic is on my social media, on my Instagram. You can always go there and read. It's at the rate kairneya, and you can see how the story takes place. Actually, one of my friend and I, we both decided to go at night in the college and paint the wall, which we always wanted to paint, and we requested our authorities, but they were not allowing us. So this is what we did. But we did not actually mess everything up. We made a pretty decent thing out of it. This is how you sure want to do this. Yes, but why? Because the shit. Oh, this is shit, which means the previous painting on the wall is shit. Okay, so what do you have? So he points out on something. This is my character, which is pointing out on something, and then you can see. Wait, what? What is it? It's an acrylic paint bottle. Okay, so it will be fun. It's like, okay, we'll do it. A green signal from the character of my friend. Anyways, a few moments later, okay, they drew something and now they are about to run. That's how. Okay, where is it? Okay, so this is the video that I was about to share. So it's a logo animation of Nickelodeon. You can exactly see what is happening. Okay. And the worst part was I did these things without any pre-production stuff, storyboards, character design, anything. I just went on with the logo. I traced everything apart, separated them, and started animation like bluntly. And then I came up with this. So this is where my animation come communication portfolio is done. So what are we going to take away from this portfolio demonstration? There are 4 to 5 distinctive points that I'm going to highlight that you should always take care while creating your portfolio. First of all, a portfolio is very specific. Why it is specific? You are actually trying to achieve something from your portfolio. What is it? Are you trying to do it for a job? Are you going to become a video editor? Are you going to become a graphic designer, animator, pre-production artist? So the portfolio should be like that if you are trying for employing yourself. But if you are trying to show your skills as well as your ideas through your portfolio to get inside a design institute where you are basically introducing yourself through your portfolio, because when your portfolio has been downloaded, you are not there to actually explain your portfolio, right? So your portfolio should be speaking to the onlooker, regardless who that onlooker is. Maybe that person belongs from a design background, may not. Okay, but your portfolio should always speak to that person. Why? Because your artworks are meant to deal with real people. Okay, so it should be aimed for that purpose. Now, how it will uh, talk to the onlooker? Now, when you saw my portfolio, you kind of would have noticed that it is a very personal portfolio. I'm using the word portfolio a lot because this video is regarding that. Now I am getting irritated with it. Anyway, so since it's a very personal compilation of my artworks, so smart I am. Anyway, if I sat in an interview with a portfolio like this, if somebody is asking me questions regarding my projects, I can confidently deal with those questions, and I don't have to be scared or afraid of what kind of questions can be asked, because I have been through out the process while creating these projects. Okay. So anything if you ask me, the answers will be genuine and honest. So if you put your personal efforts into the portfolio, it will be very helpful for you into the interview. The second thing that you should always take care in your portfolio is that you should always choose your projects wisely, because you are not going to put everything that you have inside your portfolio, because the people who are looking at it, they don't have that kind of time. Okay, they are actually reviewing a lot of folios, a lot of compilation of artworks. Okay, so put your best work, best 5 to 6 works on which you are going to be very confident while talking. Okay, and you would love to engage in a conversation where those kind of artworks are discussed. Okay, so always choose your projects wisely that you need to include in your portfolio. So if I have to support this argument with an example from my own projects, I have worked not only in illustration, drawing, painting, and creating pictures, but also I have worked in branding, logo design, um, social media posts, advertising, but I haven't worked a lot into it. Okay. So I do have those projects, but I'm not going to just put those projects into my portfolio because maybe I won't enjoy talking on those projects a lot because I'm more confident on these projects. I like drawing and painting a lot. So I'm going to put the projects that are close to my heart and that I have enjoyed working on. So for example, the branding stuff that I've worked in, it is totally commercial. I've worked for different people. I have created logos for other people because they were paying me. But these projects are very personal. I have done these projects just for myself and for the sake of my subject when I was studying in my graduation. So always put your projects wisely when you are making a portfolio, and make sure that the portfolio that you are making is intended to a particular cause. If you want a job, the portfolio should be like that. And if you want something else, like you want to enroll yourself into a college, so your portfolio actually acts as your identity. They are not only downloading a file, they are downloading a piece of you. You are not going to be present there when they are reviewing your portfolio, but your compilation of artworks is going to speak to them, and always treat your artworks like that. Here is a very personal tip. This is not a tip, it's an experience that I have always gone through. All the artworks that I enjoy making give pleasure to the onlooker as well. Okay, if I enjoy making something, it makes other people also happy. If I'm struggling with something and I'm just getting over it, I'm not sure whether I'm going to show that project to someone, because those projects are not going to make the onlooker joyful. They are not going to engage with the onlooker. They are not going to be comprehensible enough to the onlooker. Basically, they are not going to speak as much as to the onlooker as compared to the projects that I've enjoyed working on. Because when you enjoy doing something, you put your heart and soul into it. Okay, so always treat your projects like this. So that was the second point, I guess, that you can take away from this demonstration. And the third and the most important thing that I believe, you should always consider while making a portfolio like this. Your portfolio should be a treat to the eyes. You should always enjoy your portfolio first, and you should always intend that whenever your portfolio is opened, it is like a movie. It is like a short film. It is like a painting that people enjoy looking at. Okay, it shouldn't just be a bunch of projects given to someone. Okay, I did this. No, it shouldn't be like that. It should be joy giving. It should be enjoyable. Okay, it should, again, I'm using the word, it should be a treat to the eyes. Anyways, so it should be good looking and pretty and beautiful. Okay, so that people do not ignore it and they just go on, and they have the feeling that okay, this thing shouldn't end, but it will. Make sure it does. Okay, so again, so the fourth point that I feel that a portfolio like this should have. Now, this is a very personal anecdote. When I say that I'm a visual artist, I want my visuals to speak with the onlooker. Okay, I won't include a lot of copy, a lot of text into it. Now, this is a very personal advice. This is a very personal belief. Maybe your project consists of things where a lot of reading is required, but trust me, when 1,000 portfolios are sent to someone, they are not going to read paragraphs. That's what I believe. Okay, if I have to review 10 portfolios, I'll be bored if you give me copy and a lot of text to read, I'm going to get bored. And again, when we were kids, we never liked text, right? We were always inclinated towards the books which had visuals into it, colors into it. So make your portfolio like this. And again, I would like to say, if you want to give information regarding your project, make sure that information is well designed. Okay, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. Even I suffer with it. Okay, but the concept of information design, the concept of symbol, logo, iconography were made just to communicate an idea without using much of the language. For example, when you go to that a toilet, you see like a male and a female. They don't usually write male or female. Just they just make a symbol. They just make an icon. Okay, so you don't even have to read it, but it is there and you understand it. Okay, so make your portfolio like that. Make your portfolio, if it is informative, use a lot of information design. A lot of templates are available on the internet. So the last thing that I would tell you to take away from this demonstration is make your portfolio authentic. When I say authentic, is just because we have internet, we are exposed to so many things and we are exposed to so many different ideas which we take it away as an inspiration and we end up copying it. Now again, I am sharing this file with you guys. The link is in the description below because I want you to go through this portfolio personally. I can't stop you from taking away projects from this file. But if you're doing this, trust me, you are, you know what, you are not doing justice to yourself, because when you are sitting in the exam or you are going to explain this portfolio to someone, you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to do that because you haven't invested the amount of time that I did working on my portfolio, working on my projects. So when you're making your portfolio, make it authentic. Don't try to copy things from here and there. Don't try to snatch things from the internet, few things from here, few things from there, and just assembling it and making it a project. Don't do that. Okay, the idea should be raw and it should be well versed, well rehearsed, and well worked. Okay, now ideation is a totally different process. Okay, from where you get ideas, it is a totally different process. It is very personal. Your idea should be your own, because if you do that, you are going to be confident enough in the interview and you don't have to prepare for the interview at all. Again, I'm telling you, when I sent this portfolio and when I sat for the interview, both the professors from animation design and communication design, they both said that they loved the portfolio. Like, I'm not making this stuff. They actually said that they loved the portfolio. In fact, for communication design, they did not ask me anything. There were no questions asked. Okay, we were just discussing the projects and it was fun. 10 minutes of, okay, straight fun. So I think I'm done by demonstrating my portfolio and sharing whatever I did and I believe should be done. The link to this file is in the description below. Uh, Go to the comment section and tell me whether this video was helpful, informative, or not. And also like it and subscribe the channel, which will actually tell me whether I should, carry forward and make uh, the future videos. I think 3 to 4 videos are enough for Seed. That's it. Because a lot of content is already created. Kindly do so, because it is very uncomfortable for me to just sit in a room where nobody is there and just to talk to the camera. I'm not very good at it, and sorry if I messed up, but again, I'm trying my best. So thank you. Bye.